was a superstar. You probably do not recognize his face or his cat, but he's sketching something. He's sketching the fantastic adventure of a teenage journalist with this fantastic name which everybody can pronounce, that is Tintin. Whee! As a woman of Asian descent, both Tintin in Tibet and the Blue Lotus hold a significant and cherished position in my heart. Many experts on Tintin's adventures on YouTube suggested that the Blue Lotus represents a fresh start in Hergé's artistic evolution, impacting both storytelling and artistic style. As Tintin explores foreign lands, he encounters a diverse array of characters, highlighting the richness of their cultural heritages. Tintin's friend Chang in the Blue Lotus was inspired by Zhang Chongren, a Chinese student befriended by Hergé in the Brussels Academy of Fine Art. Chang overcame adversity, growing up in an orphanage after his mother's death. Despite financial struggles, his talent in painting blossomed under his school headmaster's guidance. Unable to afford further education, Chang apprenticed in photography and plate making, continuing to pursue his passion in painting. This marked the start of his artistic journey. Through a culture exchange program and scholarship, Chang eventually studied in Europe, a testament to his resilience and determination in the face of hardship. Chang's departure from Shanghai occurred just as Japanese launched its brutal invasion of China, leaving an indelible mark on him. Through his first-hand experience and terrifying updates from his family, this traumatic event profoundly influenced the creation of Chang and the storyline of the Blue Lotus. The Battle of Shanghai, raging from August to November 1939, it began with relentless aerial bombardments and escalated into intense urban warfare. The city was left in ruins as Japanese forces advanced. They met with a fierce resistance from the Chinese, ranging from street vendors, traditional housewives, and government officials to revolutionaries and monks. Despite their valiant effort, Shanghai eventually fell to the Japanese. The subsequent occupation cast a long, dark shadow over the city and its people, resulting in years of hardship and suffering under Japanese control until the end of the war. Look at this, the Blue Lotus, created by Hergé. I am so surprised that he actually caught the angry face so vividly, because there's a saying that when a man who is angry, he often staring at you as if you're the only thing to staring at, to criticize you. At the same time, he will blow his mustache up and down to show that even every straw of his mustache are also so irritated. What a marvelous artist. Hergé's portrayal of Asian people in the Blue Lotus challenged the prevailing Belgian stereotypes of the Chinese, who are often seen as barbaric, overpopulated, and inscrutable. Through his Sunday meeting with Zhang Chongren, Hergé became acquainted with the sophisticated aspects of ancient Chinese culture. He explained the symbolism and cultural significance behind various elements in Chinese painting, including specific motifs, the importance of nature, and the philosophical emphasis on harmony and balance. He also demonstrated Chinese brush painting and calligraphy, showing Hergé how to create different strokes, lines, and textures. This hands-on approach allowed Hergé to appreciate the fluidity and precision required in Chinese art. The culture exchange enriched Hergé's work and marked the debut of his signature artistic style, clear line, characterized by clean, precise lines, a lack of hatching, and meticulous attention to details. As I dived into the Blue Lotus as an adult, I could not help but question why Hergé opted to clothe Tintin in traditional Chinese garb, along with a pair of glasses. Being of Asian descent, I am all too familiar with the attention European tourists often attract when dressing up in such attire. Reflecting on my childhood, I vividly recall witnessing foreigners donning colorful dressing attire at popular tourist sites, much to the amusement of my kindergarten peers, who often mimicked their peculiar appearance. Vendors rarely intervened to correct their choices, as renting out such elaborate costumes was a lucrative business. Within the pages of the Blue Lotus, Tintin assumes the guise of a manual labor, his choice of spectacles adding an amusing twist to his ensemble. It is worth pointing out that in the 1930s, very few manual workers wore eyeglasses. My analysis leads me to believe that Tintin's decision to embrace traditional Chinese attire served as a symbolic gesture of solidarity amidst the Japanese invasion. By adopting this attire, Tintin positions himself as an ally of the locals in Shanghai. Hergé masterfully underscores Tintin's role not only as Chang's protector, but also as his trusted confidant. In a touching display of loyalty, Chang reciprocates by ensuring Tintin's safety, bravely intervening when faced with threats from a Japanese aggressor.
This is a good grade for his book. His Holiness Dalai Lama is reading Tintin in Tibet. I can't imagine if anybody could bestow him with a better celebration of his work. Way to go, Hergé!
At the end of the 1950s, as Chinese communist troops fired upon Tibetan resistance defying annexation, Hergé unveiled his iconic tale, Tintin in Tibet. The materialistic communist leaders held Buddhism in contempt, igniting deep resentment amongst Tibetans. Revered lamas were degraded, forced into odious labor, handling human excrement in gardens, and sacred icons were desecrated. The people bore witness to Lama being accused, beaten, and religious symbols like the revered Sakya Bammo turned into scarecrows. While condemning the faith as poison, the Chinese paradoxically promised freedom of religion. Monks faced humiliation, monasteries laid abandoned, and private worship was subtly stifled. Indoctrination sought to replace ancient beliefs, casting the old order as hell and the new era as heaven. Regular ideological meetings demanded denunciations of the past and price for the new regime. Afterward, life became a relentless cycle of indoctrination and labor, driven by ideological incentives. Daily toil was scrutinized and judged, with the diligent rewarded and the idle shamed, all aimed to reshape beliefs and behaviors under constant supervision and public scrutiny.
Hergé has such a great fascination over large mammals. In multiple stories, the large mammals are both a symbol of something unknown, threatening, and also act as a huge and extremely friendly creatures.
In Tintin, Tibet, the real monster is not a person or an invading army, rather a large, mysterious creature called the Yeti, who lives in a remote Himalayan mountain cave. The Yeti is a legendary figure in Himalayan folklore, known for being powerful and intimidating. Legends about him have been told for generations, painting him as a huge ape-like creature. His impressive size and fierce look make people afraid, even if they have never seen him in person. Yet it symbolizes the unknown, the primordial, and the unexplored. Southwestern Tibet is a harsh place. The idea of a giant creature living there makes the Yeti seem even more unfathomable, thus amplifying people's fear. However, Tintin and his friends discover that not everything about Yeti is as it seems. While many people are scared of Yeti, Tintin learns that there is more to this legendary creature than just horrifying reputations. Concealed within the shadows lies the real adversary, the dominant Chinese regime, employing ruthless tactics to stifle opposition. Many self-proclaimed Tintin experts enjoy discussing the intricate web of Tibetan folklore interwoven into this adventure. For some, the Yeti embodies quality of camaraderie, allegiance, and fortitude amidst adversity. Others see OIJ's depiction of distant land and the Yeti as reminiscent of outdated colonial perspectives. Yet, upon reflection, I arrive at a very different conclusion. I think it is OIJ's attempt to battle against the stereotypical depiction of indigenous communities, particularly Tibetans, described by the Chinese propaganda ministry.
In Tintin in Tibet, he encountered this remarkable instrument. And what is really fun is the fact that the monks who are playing those instruments are sometimes synonymous with the story, at least when reveal the Tintin cartoon stripes in one of the Brussels underground.
Tintin embarks on his quest for his friend after a terrifying dream. Upon arriving in Tibet, he places his trust in the monk's vision, driven by his sincere desire to uncover Zhang's fate. These moments, to me, are the most crucial elements of the story. Why? Tibet and the rest of China were under strict communist control, shrouding the region in mystery. Most outside world, including Tintin, knew very little about what truly transpired with its borders. Most information from communist official channels was rife with deceit. Hence, a telepathic message from Chang was far more credible than any communication from the local government. The monk's vision, articulated in a trance-like state, held more truth than his conscious words. The Yeti's attempt to save Chang on a cold snowy day underscores that Tintin in Tibet is a fantasy story. Air travel over Tibet was non-existent in the 50s. An ordinary Chinese citizen could not freely travel to India or Europe. I believe Chang's survival is OIJ's way of ridiculing the Chinese communists. He survived despite an aircraft crash. Just that the primitive backward Tibet is much more compassionate than the Chinese Beijing. I think I understand why Tintin in Tibet has attracted so much attention over the years, including censorship by the communist Chinese. The message is clear. While communists can manipulate a smaller group of people for a time, they cannot deceive the entire world, especially those nurtured in liberal societies that value free and critical thinking. Historically, during the 50s and 60s, the Chinese government sought to suppress dissident and control information, but their effort often met resistance. The story of Tintin in Tibet echoes this struggle, highlighting the indomitable human spirit. Furthermore, escaping a totalitarian regime is possible, even though harsh environment like Tibet, where the local Tibetans view the Chinese as their most terrible oppressors. Despite the Chinese government's draconian measures to enforce submission, including the use of heavy machinery and strict checkpoints, there have always been individuals who find ways to resist and escape. This resilience and determination against oppressive forces resonate deeply in the narrative of Tintin's adventure.